The stars outside the station looked calm. But inside the research station, people were running and shouting. Warning lights flashed red across the halls. Something was wrong. Something very wrong. Commander Nora Blake stood on the command deck, trying to stay calm. Her eyes moved quickly across the screens, searching for answers. She had never seen anything like this. Strange ships had come out of nowhere. They didn't answer messages. They just opened fire. The station was not built for battle. It was a science hub, meant to study the moon below. Most of the people here were scientists, not soldiers. The defense systems were light, just enough to stop pirates or space debris. But this attack was different. The enemy was fast, strong, and silent. "We need help," Nora said. Her voice was steady, but her heart beat fast. "Send out a distress signal. Use every channel. Call the Galactic Council. Call anyone." Lieutenant Jenna Lowe nodded and typed quickly at her console. The signal went out into space, hoping someone would hear it. In another part of the station, explosions rocked the walls. 2 security officers tried to hold a hallway. One of them, a young man named Eric, fired his plasma pistol, but it barely slowed the attackers. The aliens were tall, dark, and wore strange armor. They moved without sound. "Fall back," shouted his partner. "We can't stop them." They ran, leaving smoke and sparks behind them. Back on the command deck, the answer from the council finally came. It was not what Nora had hoped. "No fleets are nearby," said the voice over the comms, "but we have contacted a new ally. They are the only ones close enough to help." Nora frowned. "Who? Humans," the voice said. "From the planet Earth." Nora blinked. She had read reports about humans. They were a new species in the Alliance, from a planet called a Death World, where storms, beasts, and diseases were common. Their biology was tough, but they were young. Not much was known about them. "They are not trained for this," Nora said. "We need soldiers." They answered the call. "They are on their way." "Good luck," the message ended. The silence in the room grew heavy. Jenna looked at Nora. "What do we do now?" Nora closed her eyes for a moment. Then she stood straight. "We hold out. We last long enough for these humans to arrive. If they come outside the station, another wave of enemy fire hit the hull. Lights flickered. Systems went offline. Medical bays were full. More people were injured. Some areas were lost completely. 3 hours passed. Then 4. The enemy took control of most of the lower decks. Only a few safe zones remained. Then a new signal came. "Unknown ship approaching," Jenna said. "Put it on screen," Nora said. A small ship dropped out of warp space. It was nothing like the sleek Alliance crafts. It was rough, dark gray, with sharp edges. It looked like something made in a rush. "That's human," someone whispered. The ship docked with the station. A moment later, the doors opened. 4 humans stepped out. Their boots hit the floor with heavy sounds. They wore armor, but not the kind the Alliance used. It looked worn, patched, and tough. They carried weapons that looked too large to be safe. The leader was a woman with short brown hair and a calm face. She looked around slowly. "Captain Lisa Morgan, Earth Defense Unit," she said. Her voice was even. "We got your call." Nora met her near the docking bay. "You're the backup." Lisa nodded. Behind her stood a tall man with short black hair. He had a scar across his nose. "Corporal Reinhold," he said. Next to him was a woman. with red hair tied back tightly. She looked like she didn't smile much. Sergeant Mia Carter. The last one was a younger man with glasses, carrying a heavy backpack. Dylan Ross. I do tech stuff. Nora looked at them. They didn't look like a rescue team. They looked like a group that had seen too much. The enemy has taken most of the lower decks, Nora said. We can't stop them. Lisa looked around. Show us the map. We'll set up defenses. The humans moved quickly. They didn't waste time. Carter and Holt went to secure choke points. Dylan began placing small devices around key doors. What are those? Nora asked. Shock mines, Dylan said. Not fancy, but they work. Lisa walked through the halls like she had lived there for years. She studied the walls, checked corners, and asked sharp questions. She talked to the station staff, gave short orders, and told them where to go. We make a stand here, she said, pointing to a large central chamber. Good sight lines, solid walls, one way in. The aliens came again, but this time the story changed. As they rushed into the chamber, a mine exploded. 3 aliens fell. Carter opened fire from cover, hitting one in the head. Holt ran into the fight, roaring, and smashed one with a shock baton. He moved like a beast. The station crew watched in shock. The aliens tried to regroup, but Lisa had already guessed their plan. She threw a grenade behind them, cutting off their retreat. No mercy, she said. They'll give none. Hours passed. The humans didn't sleep. They moved like machines. They set traps. They pulled wounded to safety. They fought without fear. Nora stood beside Lisa during a break. You're not like the other soldiers I'd met. Lisa didn't smile. We come from a world that wants to kill us. We learn fast or we die. You don't look afraid. Lisa looked at her. We are. We just keep moving anyway. More attacks came, but they were weaker. The aliens lost ground. Their stealth didn't work against human motion sensors. Their armor didn't stop human weapons. By the end of the day, the humans had taken back to decks. The station crew began to believe. Taupe returned. And as Nora looked at the humans, these strange, wild fighters from a world she barely knew, she started to wonder. Maybe the Council had sent monsters, but they were monsters on her side. And for now, that was enough. The quiet didn't last. Just hours after the last fight, the aliens attacked again. This time, they came with new weapons. The lights in the station flickered as power systems were hit again. Explosions shook the walls. Screams echoed through the dark halls. Lisa Morgan and her team were already moving. She ran through the corridors with her rifle ready. Her voice came calm over the comms. Carter, Holt, positions. Dylan, power status. Trying to reroute, Dylan answered. Main lines are down. I can bring lights to half the station, but shields are gone. Do what you can. Keep the lifts running. We need to move fast. Ryan Holt was already in place at one of the choke points. His heavy armor had burn marks on it from the last fight. He grinned as the first enemy came into sight. Come on, you freaks, he said. He opened fire. The blast from his rifle sent the alien flying back. 2 more followed, but Sergeant Carter flanked them from behind and took them down. That's 3. Carter said into the comms. For now, Holt added as another enemy dropped. They moved like they had done this 100 times. Quick steps, short orders, no panic. Nora Blake watched from the command deck. She couldn't believe it. The humans fought like they knew the station better than the crew. They moved through smoke and fire like it was nothing. They don't even stop to breathe, Jenna said beside her. They don't know fear, Nora said. But deep down, she wondered. Maybe they just lived with fear so long, they didn't show it anymore. Lisa reached one of the blocked sections. She kicked open the door and found 3 wounded Alliance crew inside. You're safe now, she said. Move with me. Stay behind. Don't look back. One of the crew, a young woman with a broken arm, looked up at Lisa. Are you human? Yes, Lisa said. You don't look scared. Lisa didn't answer. She led them back through the halls, where Holt covered their escape. Carter checked every room they passed. No mistakes. No wasted time. In the engineering deck, Dylan worked fast. His hands moved across broken panels, wires, and screens. Sparks flew. Come on, he whispered. Give me something. He found an old power relay and rewired it. Lights flickered on. The air vents started again. Water flowed to the medical bay. Partial power back, he said. Good work, Lisa. Answered. Dylan smiled a little. He wiped his face and moved to the next broken panel. Hours passed. The humans didn't rest. They set up ambush points. They used the station's broken parts to make traps. Carter used a welding torch to build a wall of heat coils in a narrow hallway. Any alien walking through would be burned. Holt and 2 Alliance guards placed charges near a weak bulkhead. When the aliens came again, the humans blew it, dropping the enemy into the gravity well of the moon. It was brutal, but it worked. The station crew started to follow the humans' orders. They stopped asking questions. They just listened. Hold. This corridor. Use fire foam if they get close. Put sharp metal across that vent. If they crawl through, they won't crawl back out. You, medbay. Help the wounded. You can't fight. Then help someone who can. The aliens sent a scout team to the reactor. Dylan caught them on camera and set off a gas trap. The explosion cooked the attackers in seconds. Lisa stood on the upper deck, watching the enemy retreat. They're pulling back, she said. Good, Holt replied. Let them run. But Lisa didn't smile. No, they're regrouping. They're not finished. She was right. 1 hour later, the enemy launched their biggest attack yet. It began with silence. Then, all the lights died. A cold wind blew through the halls. They shut down power again, Dylan said. They found my relay. Then the attack came. Over 50 enemies, moving as one. They used the dark. They climbed walls. They dropped from vents. But the humans had planned for this. Carter activated a set of floodlights. The hall lit up like day. Holt fired a shock cannon down the corridor. Enemies dropped. Lisa and Dylan held the medical bay, protecting the wounded. Dylan used a hand-built turret. It spun and fired with loud bangs. Lisa moved between targets, her rifle never stopping. They fought for an hour without rest. When the fight ended, the halls were quiet again. Bodies of the enemy lay across the floor. Smoke hung in the air. They're done, Holt said. No, Lisa said. They'll try one more thing. And she was right again. The enemy tried to hack the station systems. They wanted to vent the air, kill everyone left. Dylan caught it just in time. They're in the system, he said. Stop them, Lisa said. I'm trying. They move fast. They're good. So are you. Dylan smiled, then his fingers flew. He used old commands, locked the doors, rerouted the air. The enemy tried again. He locked them out. They're blocked, he said. Lisa nodded. Nice work. The battle was almost over. The humans had taken back most of the station. The enemy was cornered in one last section, but they still had one ship docked outside. Lisa called Nora. "We're going to take the ship." Nora looked surprised. "Just 4 of you. We'll take 2 of your guards. Holt and Carter will lead. We destroy the ship. They can't escape." Nora nodded. She had no doubt now. If anyone could do it, it was them. The boarding team suited up. They crossed the docking bridge in silence. The enemy ship was dark inside, cold. The walls were black metal, and the lights flickered red. Holt took point. Carter followed. The 2 Alliance guards stayed close. Inside, they found more resistance, but it was weaker. The aliens were tired too. Their weapons were low, their armor cracked. Room by room, the humans moved forward. Dylan stayed back, hacking the ship systems. He found the power core. He smiled, found it. "Set charges," Lisa said. Holt placed them with care. He knew what he was doing. As they left, one last alien stood in the way. Big, heavy armor. A leader, it raised a blade. Holt didn't wait. He ran forward. They clashed. It was brutal. Fists, blades. Fire. Holt got cut, but he didn't stop. He headbutted the alien, then stabbed it with a shock blade. It dropped. "Done," he said. "Everyone." "Out," Lisa said. They ran. The charges exploded. The alien ship lit up in a ball of fire. The shock hit the station, but shields held Dot back inside. The crew cheered. Nora met Lisa at the command deck. "You saved us." Lisa just nodded. She looked tired. Her armor was dirty, her eyes sharp. "Just doing our job." Nora watched them walk back. To their ship, these were humans, Deathworlders, and they were unlike anything she had ever seen. The aliens came to destroy, but they had not planned for Earth, and Earth had sent monsters. Monsters with human faces, monsters who fought to win, and who never gave up. The station was quiet for the first time in days. No alarms, no gunfire, no screams. Just the low hum of machines and the soft voices of people cleaning up the damage. But the silence didn't feel peaceful. It felt heavy, like a storm was still, waiting to return. Lisa Morgan sat on a metal bench near the med bay, cleaning her rifle. Her armor was scratched, and there was dried blood on her gloves. She didn't speak much. Her team sat nearby. Carter was sharpening a blade. Holt had his feet up and a cold pack on his shoulder. Dylan was checking his gear. Commander Nora Blake walked into the room. She looked tired. Her uniform was torn in places, and her eyes had dark circles under them. She stopped in front of Lisa. "You look like you've been through hell," she said. Lisa didn't look up. "We have. The station owes you all its thanks." Lisa put her rifle back together. "It's not over." Nora frowned. "The ship is destroyed. The enemy is gone." Dylan looked up from his screen. "No, their main force was never here. That was a scout group, a strong one, but still a scout." Nora felt cold. "You mean more are coming?" "Yes," Lisa said. "And when they come, they won't be testing us. Be trying to wipe us out." Word spread through the station. Some crew felt panic rising again. Others felt a strange calm. They had seen what the humans could do. Maybe, just maybe, there was still hope. Lisa called a meeting in the central command room. She stood in front of the remaining crew and spoke with a strong voice. "We don't have long. The enemy will return, bigger and stronger. We must prepare." This station has weak points. We will fix them. We will turn this place into a fortress. But how? Asked a crewman. With our hands, Lisa said. And with fire. For the next 2 days, the humans worked without rest. They didn't ask for help. But the crew started to join them anyway. Dylan took control of engineering. He reinforced the station's power grid and added backup cores. He used spare parts from wrecked drones to build auto-turrets. He taught the crew how to maintain them. They don't have to be perfect, he told the crew. They just have to kill anything not friendly. Carter led combat training. She gave short lessons. No fancy moves, just how to survive. Shoot first, she told them. If you freeze, you die. Holt worked on traps. He filled supply halls with pressure mines, shock wires, and even gas bombs. They like the dark, he said. We'll make the dark. There's too fear. Lisa walked the station every hour. She checked every wall, every lock, every sensor. She found cracks and had them fixed. She didn't rest much. She drank water and ate in small bites while walking. Nora watched it all. She had never seen people move like that, with focus, with anger, but also with care. One night, she found Lisa looking out a small window into space. You don't sleep much, Nora said. Lisa didn't turn around. Sleep is for later. Are all humans like you? No, some are scientists, some are farmers, some are peaceful, and you. Lisa was quiet for a moment. Then she said, I was trained for war, but I fight for peace. It just takes longer. Nora stood beside her. The stars outside looked calm again. We thought humans were weak when the council met you, Nora said. Now I see we were wrong. No, Lisa replied. You were right. We were weak, but we learned. Our world taught us how to survive, how to fight, how to win. Another alarm rang through the station, but it wasn't an attack. It was a message. Long range. Sensors picking up movement, Jenna said, over comms. One ship, coming fast, not Alliance. Put it on screen, Lisa said. The image showed a dark, large alien ship, bigger than the last one. Faster, it came from deep space, heading straight for the station. It begins, Lisa whispered. She called the team. Holt checked his armor. Carter grabbed extra ammo. Dylan packed his tools. Positions, Lisa said. The crew took their places too. This time, they didn't look scared. They had weapons. They had training. And they had humans with them. The alien ship did not open fire. It docked. They want aboard, Dylan said. Then we let them, Lisa replied, right into the trap. The humans had set up their main defense in the cargo bay. Metal walls, turrets, flame traps, barriers made from scrap. Lisa waited at the center. The doors opened. The aliens stormed in, big, ugly, covered in new armor. But the humans were ready. The turrets fired. The flame traps burst. Carter and Holt moved through smoke like shadows. The enemy fell fast. Lisa fought hand-to-hand with one alien. It swung a blade. She ducked and shot it in the chest. Another jumped at her. She pulled a knife and stabbed it under the chin. The crew behind the walls fired too. They held their ground. Hold the line, Carter shouted. Don't let them pass. The enemy brought in a new weapon. A large, rolling machine that fired heavy rounds. Dylan saw it on a camera. We need to shut it down. Give me 5 minutes. Lisa nodded. You have 3. Dylan ran to the control room. He hacked into the floor systems, opened a trapdoor below the machine. It fell. Holt laughed. Nice drop. Thanks, Dylan said, breathing hard. After 30 minutes of brutal fighting, the aliens pulled back. Again, Lisa stood in the smoke. Her armor was cracked. Her leg bled. But she didn't fall. Report, she said. For crew hurt, Carter said. One bad. No deaths. Lisa nodded. Good. We hold. Nora came to the bay. I saw the fight, she said. You turned the bay into a trap. We had to, Lisa said. They're not here to talk. What do they want? Lisa looked at the broken aliens. They want to prove they're stronger, that they can break us. But they didn't. Not yet. Lisa looked tired, but not beaten. Never beaten. That night, the station crew lit small candles in the halls, a quiet thanks to the ones who fought and lived, and to the humans who never stopped. Lisa sat alone near the cargo bay. Carter joined her. She handed Lisa a piece of protein. Bar, eat something. Thanks. They sat in silence. Think more will come? Carter asked. Yes, and worse ones. Can we win? Lisa didn't answer right away. We can survive, she said. And if we survive long enough, we can win. Carter nodded. Behind them, the crew fixed walls, patched holes, and cleaned up. They weren't running, they were staying, because now they had humans on their side, and the enemy was learning something important. You don't attack a death world and expect mercy. You don't fight humans and expect to win easy. You called for backup, but what arrived were Deathworlders, and they were just getting started. The days passed slowly on the station. Every hour felt long. Every sound made people jump, but still the humans stayed, and the crew followed them. Lisa Morgan stood in the command room, staring at the screens. She watched every movement. She waited for the next attack. The last one had been close. Too close. They had survived, but barely. Any word from the council? She asked. Nora Blake shook her head. No reply. We might be on our own. Lisa didn't look surprised. Then we hold. Without them, the station repairs were slow. Dylan worked non-stop to bring power back to more areas. He repaired damaged turrets and set up new traps. He had circles under his eyes and oil on his hands, but he didn't stop. This thing might hold, he said, as he tested a power relay. If it doesn't melt. Carter trained the station crew harder now. They moved faster. They shot straighter. She pushed them every day. This is not a drill, she told them. You live or you die. Decide fast. Holt worked with the guards to clear debris and set up ambush points. He used scrap metal to build spike traps. He even found old mining tools and turned them into weapons. Simple. Works, he said. Sharp is sharp. Doesn't matter what it looks like. The next warning came when a long-range probe picked up new movement. A small enemy ship, moving fast. Another scout. Nora asked Dot. Lisa shook her head. No, a messenger. For what? To call the others. Lisa ordered a launch. A small group would intercept the ship before it got close. Dylan rigged a drone with explosives. Holt and Carter suited up. Quick in, quick out, Lisa told them. We can't let it escape. They launched from the side hangar. The small craft zipped through space, moving low and fast. The enemy ship didn't spot them until it was too late. Holt shot the engines. Carter placed charges. The ship exploded before it could send its signal. Target destroyed, Carter said calmly. They returned to the station and Lisa nodded. That buys us time. But time was short. 3 days later, the main attack began. It started with a sound, a deep rumble that shook the whole station. Then the lights flickered. The enemy had used a pulse wave to hit the outer systems. Screens turned black. Power dropped by half. They're coming, Dylan said. Lots of them. I count 5 ships. Big ones. Lisa stared at the screen. Battle stations. Everyone. This is the real fight. The enemy ships didn't dock right away. They launched small fighters. The first wave slammed into the station from different sides. Explosions rocked the walls. Fires broke out in the lower decks. Hull breach in Section 7, someone shouted. Seal it off, Carter ordered. No one goes alone. The humans and crew moved like one team now. They didn't panic. They followed. Orders, halt, and 3 guards held the left wing. Carter led a charge to retake the lower corridor. Lisa moved from group to group, giving support. She fired her rifle with perfect aim. She pulled injured soldiers to safety. She shouted clear. Firm orders. Dylan stayed in the main engine room. He rerouted systems to keep shields up. He used broken drones to jam enemy signals. They're trying to talk to each other, he said, but I'm cutting their voice. More aliens stormed the station. This time they had heavy armor and stronger weapons. One of them carried a huge plasma cannon. We need to take that out, Lisa said. On it, Carter replied. She crawled through a vent system and dropped behind the alien with the cannon. She fired 2 shots. The alien fell. Target down, she said. They kept fighting. Room by room, step by step. But the enemy didn't stop. 1 of the enemy ships docked and sent in a full unit. More than 30 soldiers. They moved fast and tried to take the control room. Nora stood with the crew, holding a small weapon. Her hands shook, but she didn't run. Hold the door, she said. Lisa arrived just in time. She set up a wall of flame traps. When they come through, light them up, she said. The doors opened. The trap burst into flames. The front line of aliens fell. Holt and Carter stormed in from the side, cutting down the rest. Control room is safe, Lisa said. But they were all tired. Supplies were low. Ammo was almost gone. Some guards were badly hurt. One of the crew, a young man named Felix, had lost an arm. We can't hold forever, Nora said. We don't need forever, Lisa said. We need one final move. Dylan spoke up. We can overload the station core. It would destroy everything in a 10-mile range. That includes us, Carter said. Unless we leave just before it goes off, Dylan said. Do it, Lisa ordered. Prep the core. The plan was risky. Dylan began setting up the overload. Lisa called everyone to prepare for final defense. This is the end, she said to the crew. We fight, then we run, or we die. They nodded. No one backed away. The enemy made one last push. They came with all their force. The station shook. Walls broke. Fires burned out of control. Lisa, Carter, Holt, and Nora fought side by side. They pushed back with everything they had. Dylan called over comes 2 minutes until overload. Start the evac, Lisa said. They moved fast. They pulled back to the escape shuttles. Carter carried a wounded crewman on her back. Holt helped 2 guards. Lisa walked last, shooting at every alien she saw. 1 minute, Dylan called. They reached the shuttles. Doors closed. Engines roared to life. 20 seconds, Dylan said. Punch it, Lisa ordered. The shuttles blasted away from the station. Behind them, the station core reached overload. The entire structure lit up in a flash of white. Then it exploded. The enemy ships caught in the blast were torn apart. The shockwave rolled through space. The crew in the shuttles watched the light fade. We did it, Nora whispered. Lisa leaned back in her seat. Her body ached. Her eyes closed for a second. We lived, she said. That's enough. Dylan gave a tired smile. Hope the council got that on camera. They'll know, Carter said. Everyone will know. The shuttle moved through space, quiet and safe for now. Behind them, the remains of the station floated in silence. They had held the line. They had fought until the last breath, and they had won. They were not many. They were not perfect. But they were humans, Deathworlders, and now the galaxy would remember them. The shuttles floated through space, quiet and cold. Inside, the crew sat in silence. Their faces were tired. Their clothes were torn. Some had bandages, others just empty eyes. They had lost their home, but they had survived. Lisa Morgan sat in the pilot seat of the lead shuttle. Her hands rested on the controls, but her mind was far away. Behind her, Holt checked the wounded. Carter cleaned her weapon. Dylan slept with his head against the wall. Nora Blake looked out the small window. She saw the broken pieces of the station behind them. Small fires burned in the distance. It was gone, all of it. But the enemy was gone too. Where do we go now? She asked. Nearest Alliance base is a few days away, Lisa said. We go there, Nora nodded. She didn't ask anything more. There were no easy answers. The trip was long and quiet. The crew did not speak much. They ate simple meals. They rested when they could. Some tried to forget. Others could not. At last, the shuttles reached the base. It was a small outpost with a few ships and supply rooms. When the Alliance officers saw who had arrived, they looked confused. We thought you were all dead, one of them said. We almost were, Lisa answered. The officers helped the wounded off the shuttles. Medics took them to treatment bays. Technicians checked the shuttles. The humans stood aside. A senior officer came to meet them. His name was Commander Harris. He looked surprised to see the humans alive. We received the last transmission from your station, he said. We saw the explosion and the enemy fleet. We thought it was a lost cause. It was, Lisa said, but we didn't lose. Harris looked at the others. I've read about humans, but I didn't believe most of it. Now I think I do. You called for help, Holt said, and we came. That's all. The crew was given rooms to rest, food, water, a warm bed. Some cried when they lay down. Some just stared at the ceiling. Later, the Galactic Council sent a message. A meeting would be held to talk about what happened. Lisa and her team were called to speak. The meeting was held through a live link. Leaders from many species appeared on the screen. Some looked curious. Others looked nervous. Lisa stood in front of them. She wore her armor, scratched and dented. She spoke with a calm voice. The research station is gone, but we saved the lives of the crew. We stopped the enemy from sending more scouts. We destroyed 5 enemy ships. One council member, a tall being with silver skin, asked, "How did your small team manage this?" Lisa paused. Then she said, "We did what we had to do. Humans survive. That is what we know best." Another voice asked, "Why did you stay when the station was lost? Why not escape? Because we don't leave people behind. There was silence for a moment. Then another council member said, "The Deathworlders have proven their worth." The word spread. Across the Alliance, stories were told. Of the station, of the last stand, of the humans who fought with fire in their hearts. Nora returned to her duties, but she was different now. She wrote a full report. She called it the day we called for backup. In the report, she wrote, "They did not come with many, they did not come with great ships, but they came with will, with strength, with fury. They were Deathworlders, and they changed how we see humans forever." Lisa and her team were given time to rest, but not for long. Another alert came from a nearby moon. Strange readings, possible enemy signs. Lisa looked at her team. Holt nodded. Carter picked up her gear. Dylan packed his tools. Another fight. Dylan asked. "Another fight," Lisa said. They boarded a small dropship. The engines roared to life. As they flew off, Nora stood on the deck and watched them go. She whispered, "Good luck." But she knew they didn't need luck. They had something. Stronger, they had each other. And they had the fire of Earth in their hearts. News of the humans spread across the galaxy. Some feared them. Others wanted to learn from them. Some even wanted to join them. The council began talks about training more humans for special missions. Some said they were too dangerous. Others said they were necessary. Lisa didn't care about the talks. She only cared about the mission. On the new moon, they landed near a cold mountain range. Strange signals came from a deep valley. They moved carefully. They found a hidden base, dark and silent, but not empty. Inside, they found signs of the enemy. Machines, maps, plans. They were planning more attacks, Carter said. "This is just one base," Holt said. "There will be more." "Then we keep going," Lisa said. They planted charges and destroyed the base. As the fire rose behind them, they walked back to the ship. They did not cheer. They did not smile. But they knew their job was not finished. Not yet. The war was just beginning, but the galaxy had seen a new kind of soldier. Not perfect, not many, but strong, human, and Deathworlders. And they never backed down.